hear about this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sir, you know we are striking for a good reason, isn't it? You know we are striking for a good reason, isn't it? Star! Hey, Star! We are striking for a good reason, isn't it? About this strike, do you think bus drivers should be striking?
No.
Why not?
Because it's true that we go to work, it's not good.
Thank you. Do you think the bus drivers should be striking?
100% agree with them. The politicians are getting their bonus. Don't see why normal workers shouldn't get their bonus.
Do you think the bus drivers should be striking?
Yes.
You think they need more money, sir?
Yes, they do.
So you're supporting the bus drivers?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good afternoon. It's good to have you here today.
It's a great pleasure to be here, and it's fantastic seeing Unite members standing shoulder to shoulder.
We saw you at the meeting yesterday.
It's really important, first of all, to remember that it's taken the employers and Transport for London and the Mayor 10 months to arrive at recognising that they must talk to Unite. It took them 10 months, and they waited till the very last minute, didn't they? They waited till 24 hours before our strike, before they suddenly came up with some money. On Wednesday evening, the employers were still refusing to come to ACAS. It was only at 9 o'clock in the evening they finally agreed to come to ACAS. We met on Thursday morning yesterday. We were there at 9 o'clock, and for the first 4.5 hours the 20 employers were in total disarray. They couldn't even agree whether they would meet us or not. 4.5 hours later they finally came out with an offer, and the first offer that we were given equated to more or less the same as the £8.3 million that's come from the Olympics people, not from the employers, not from TfL. We pointed that out to them and they couldn't refute it because we were right. They then came out with a second offer, which was £17 for each completed rostered duty. Now they're trying to say that if someone worked every one of the 29 days they would get £500 before tax. That's true. Our claim is for £500 net, £500 after tax. So that's the first point. The second point is that no bus driver, even bus drivers who work long hours, have to work lots of rest days to pay their bills, keep food on the table. Even bus drivers can't work 29 out of 29. It's against the law and they know it. So they're lying. They're lying and they're misleading the London public. They're misleading bus drivers when they tell them that. It's a nonsense. The actual money that we believe a typical bus worker might be able to achieve if they turned up for work every day and done their rostered duties would be more like £340 before tax. We know that our claim was very modest. It was at the lower end of what other transport workers have already achieved. Okay? I'll give you an example. At Heathrow Airport, Unite the Union has negotiated a £1,200 bonus for BAA members. On the London Underground, Unite the Union has negotiated for our engineering members and our maintenance people £850. So your claim was modest, your claim was reasonable. But when I was with 20 conveners yesterday, I asked them, because it's my role to do it, I asked them, can we maybe come down? Can we maybe compromise? Can we maybe do it on a daily rate? And every single one of your reps and conveners said no way, because the members are feeling so strong and so determined. So that's what happened at ACAS yesterday.
In your speech today, you mentioned that your sister union, which is RMT, yeah, every industrial action is being taken seriously by the TFL, right? Why do you think Unite is kind of a bit of a walkover?
Well, I think today has shown that Unite is not a walkover. In the past, we've had to deal with 20 different employers. We've had to ballot people separately, which we've done this time, and we've had separate individualised disputes. I think today has shown, by the way, this is the biggest bus strike in 30 years. Biggest bus strike in 30 years. And I think that what you're all feeling now is power. Workers' power, right? And this is, when workers go on strike, it's probably the only time they feel power. That they actually don't feel disrespected, that they don't feel ordered around and treated like servants by their employers. You guys today on your picket line can behave in the way you see fit, and you're treating each other with respect, you're treating each other with solidarity, and I believe if we remain determined, we can win this.
Oh, yes.
We've seen magnificent unity among bus drivers today. I'm talking about different companies coming together, but obviously there's still a bit of loophole. Some drivers have actually joined the company and work for the company today. Obviously, these drivers here who are striking today and the drivers who have gone driving the bus today, what message do you have for them?
My message to the very misguided drivers who've decided to drive a bus today is get real, open your eyes, realise that only by standing together, not undermining a workers' dispute, can we make some progress. So while I understand people's anger at someone who's scabbed on our strike, while I understand the anger, I would urge all of our good members who are here today, the overwhelming majority, to talk to these people, explain to them, say don't be frightened, don't be intimidated, don't listen to the lies of the employer, stand firm with your comrades, and next time, and there will be a next time by the sounds of it, next time come out and join us.
Boris Johnson is not on this one with you, is he?
He's what, sorry?
Boris Johnson is not on this one with you, is he?
Boris Johnson has refused to even get involved until 2 days ago. Boris Johnson is not a friend of bus workers, despite the fact that a year or two ago he described London bus workers as the world's finest. Now, we don't want words, we don't want mealy-mouthed words, we want action, okay? Actions speak louder than words. And I think this action today is going to persuade Boris Johnson that he has to take bus workers seriously and he has to take their union seriously. Boris Johnson needs to stop playing politics, he needs to stop accusing the union of being militant and mad and all the rest of it, and he needs to tell the employers to sit around the table and negotiate.
The Prime Minister, David Cameron, is very concerned about the Olympics, so is he wise to say that you've chosen the wrong time for this protest?
He is absolutely right to be concerned about the Olympics. Let's face it, there's no one here on this picket line that wants to wreck the Olympics. We want a successful Olympics. It'll be one little glimmer of good news in a whole sea of misery. You know, we've seen millions of people being made unemployed, we've seen pay cuts, we've seen longer working hours. We all want a successful games because it'll bring, it'll bring joy to this city, it'll bring money to this city. But Boris Johnson needs to understand, and David Cameron needs to understand, that workers that are going to keep this city moving during the Olympics, that workers that are going to make lots of money for their bosses, they need a share of it. It's simple. I need to go now, all right?
One last question. A pregnant woman with 3 children had to walk to the hospital today for a checkup. How do you respond about commuters today? Obviously, they are the one on the wrong end.
Yeah. We obviously, as trade unionists and working people, we regret that anyone like that example you gave, we don't want to cause misery to people like that or hardship. Unfortunately, there are casualties in industrial disputes. We lay the blame and the responsibility fair and square at the feet of your employers. Yes. Your employers collectively have posted £2 billion profits in the last year.
That's right.
We place the responsibility and the blame for that woman and anyone else inconvenienced at the feet of Transport for London, who are awarding £80,000 bonuses to 7 directors. We lay the responsibility at the feet of Boris Johnson, who until 2 days ago said it's got nothing to do with him. It's their responsibility. We regret any inconvenience. We want a transport system that works well for people in this city. We carry 6.5 million people every day. We enjoy doing that, but we want to be treated with respect in return.
You're doing a good job, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good. It's good you're doing that.
about the speech today?
I think today, on a whole, the speech that was made by a union rep has opened up the eyes to a lot of us bus drivers and see that we can actually be acknowledged a bit more than we are at the moment, be treated a lot better than we are at the moment, and be recognized as a professional that we are taken care of on a daily basis. And the amount of people that we have on our head and our shoulders to carry is a big responsibility, and therefore I confirm the speech that was made by a union rep.
Do you trust him?
On the basis of what he said, listening to him, I think it's very sound, and I really trust him.
Do you think the bus driver should be striking?
Not really, no.
Why not?
Well, because I don't get £500 extra for working.
Okay.
And I get overtime as well for the journey. So why should I?
It's good to have the union rep here today, isn't it?
That is very good, excellent. You know, this is what we've been looking for a very long time. You know, this opportunity don't come easy, especially in the bus industry, where we've been looking for the entire drivers to come that's in one umbrella to do something, like every other organization have to. That's the London Underground. You know, they were able to stay together and get answers. You know, there's certain things that they needed. Today, bring that thing, that umbrella. They brought the entire bus company, and that's under one umbrella to make our request. And Boris is going to regret today, because if he was smart enough, he wouldn't allow this to happen. Yes. Because this opens door for so many other things. You know, that the things that drivers has always been looking for. You know, that's like a unified pay.
I think they deserve the money. I think that their owners should make up the difference. So they should get their 500 each. I'm with the bus drivers.
But what's going to happen to the Olympics? Because this is going to disrupt the Olympics, isn't it?
It will do, my friend, it will do. But it has to be, you know, it's got to be fair. It's got to be fair to bus drivers. So that's what been my home for the bus drivers, man.
Do you think the commuters are there? They are in support of what you are doing today?
Everybody who knew what we're demanding for, we definitely support the bus drivers. They will support the union for what they are asking, because it's not fair. If you look at the list of people that are getting this bonus without the bus drivers getting it, we carry the bulk of passengers in London, like the London, the rep said. But what do we get? Nothing. That's other companies, like other unions. Underground gets the rail, network rail. They got the overground get. Even down to the cleaners, they get a bonus. But the bus drivers who do the bulk of the work get nothing. It's not fair. If the other commuters, if they get to know this, they will be 100% in support of what we're doing today.
What message do you have for your governor, Boris Johnson?
I don't actually want to say much about him, because I didn't vote for him. And if he comes around again, I'm not going to vote for him.
And you're not afraid to say that?
I'm not afraid to say that. This is a free country, and that's my choice, not to vote for him. Because he did not like what I do. Therefore, in return, I'm not trying to retaliate, but it's just, I don't like the way he runs his office. That's my own opinion. I don't know about others.
Thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you, do you think the bus drivers should be striking?
Definitely. They have to do what's right, what they think is right.
What about the passengers?
Passengers, well, whatever passengers, whatever. Passengers, whatever.
All right.
Yeah, all right then, bye-bye.